Hey songbirds, I hope you've been enjoying the breathing and the movement exercises. And speaking of getting technical, by definition, a vocal warm-up is simply a series of exercises meant to prepare the voice for singing, acting, or other use. So now I'm uber excited to share the wonderful world of technical vocal exercises. Sounds fun, right? Well, if it doesn't, I totally get it. This is the part that can make any songbird's head spin. So many singers avoid technical warm-ups and go straight to song practice, just like I once did. Rookie mistake. Believe me, I've tried every avoidance tactic I knew. I would clean my house, I would go shopping, I would feign illness. Well, I knew that proper technique would take my warm-ups to a whole new level. I just didn't know where to start. And it was just so overwhelming. So of course, this was leading to improper technique and vocal fatigue, loads of frustration with my singing, which obviously led me to just want to give up. Imposter syndrome, anyone? Eventually, after a lot of wasted time and energy, I realized that I just needed to practice one thing for a few minutes at a time and do that a few days in a row. At which point, I could move on to a different or more difficult technique because I was able to rely on my very dependable muscle memory. So with regular practice and the right mentors and teachers, my learning process became more simplified, even if the technique seemed more difficult. And now I need those warm-ups less and less because my mind-body has fully integrated those techniques. So these days on a typical practice day for me, the most I really do are the heritage vocal exercises, breath work, alignment, focus, posture, which is often in the scope of my yoga routine, and really any specific technique that I need to polish because it's called for in my repertoire. So then I apply that technique into my repertoire. So I actually look forward to what new things my voice can do. Once you get in the habit, you will too. None of this seems so daunting with the right guidance and the right vocal technique. So warm-ups that include vocal technique are the cornerstone of successful singing, no matter what style you decide to sing. Let's get down to it and why it's so important. Technical vocal exercises are intended to accomplish 5 main things. 1, a physical whole body warm-up. I use Singer's yoga, and you can use the movement exercises as well as the breathing exercises, which is number 2, preparing the breath. Number 3, preparing the articulators and the resonators. Number 4, moving from the spoken register to the singing register, or an extension of the spoken register for actors and public speakers. 5, preparing the material that is going to be rehearsed or performed. So let's talk a little bit about each one of those. Number 1, a physical whole body warm-up. Physical whole body warm-ups help prepare a singer's body in myriad ways. Muscles all over the body are used when singing, which is why vocal technicians stress that the entire body is the voice. Stretching helps to activate and prepare the large muscle groups that take care of balance and posture, and the smaller muscle groups that are directly involved with breathing and the facial articulation. Stretches of the abdomen, the back, the neck, the shoulders are important to avoid tension from constriction of the larynx and breathing muscles, which influence the sound of the voice. Actors, including opera singers and musical theater performers, may need to do a more comprehensive physical warm-up if their role is physically demanding. That's why they do yoga for singers. Number 2, preparing the breath involves stretching the many muscles involved with respiration, but also for preparing them to sustain exhalation during long singing or speaking passages. As you learned in the last module, specific training of the respiratory muscles are required for singers to take very quick, deep breaths and sustain their exhalation over many bars of music. A good vocal warm-up should include breathing exercises such as square breathing, panting, or puffing air, which is used to engage the intercostal muscles and regulate the breath. Number 3, vocal articulation is controlled by a variety of tissues, muscles, and structures that are all part of the vibratory and resonating systems. The articulators are the instruments used to make a sound, like your tongue. La, la, la. The locations in the mouth where the articulators are, those are called places of articulation. For example, your 2 lips meet to form the bilabial sounds of b and p. B, p. Resonators are the hard and soft surfaces within the oral cavity that affect the sound waves produced during phonation. Hard surfaces, such as the hard palate and the teeth, can't be controlled by the singer, but soft surfaces, such as the soft palate, can be trained to change the timbre of your voice and the sound. So a vocal warm-up should include exercises which direct sound towards these hard and soft surfaces. So these exercises can help singers or actors be aware of lifting the soft palate, which can create a darker, richer timbre when singing or speaking. Basically, words, spoken and sung, are created by the articulation of the lips, teeth, and the tip of the tongue. Singers learn to control the impact of each articulator to create a smooth transition from one articulation to the next, using the breathing mechanism, aka the air pressure system, the vibratory system, the resonating system, and of course, the neural network. I'll go much more in depth on anatomy and physiology and neuroanatomy as well in Pillar 7. So you may see an untrained or poorly trained singer use the jaw for articulation, which creates unnecessary tension in the facial muscles and in the tongue. Practicing good technique in your vocal warm-up will relax the jaw while activating the lips and the tongue. Number 4 is moving from the spoken register to the singing register. Changing pitch stretches the vocal muscles for singing or projecting the voice for public speaking or acting. It requires much more strenuous use of these muscles. A good technical vocal warm-up really should move the singer or the speaker from the spoken register, which is a narrow pitch range, what I call the comfort zone, as well as a narrow dynamic range, and colloquial or everyday informal diction, into the singing register, which is a wider pitch range, wider dynamic range, and diction specific to the demands of the song, or the public speech, or the role. This is often the largest and most complex part of the vocal warm-up, and it requires a multitude of exercises to smooth out the transition between registers over the passaggios. That's where the spotlight vocal exercises and the singing in 7 routines come in for you. There are also exercises that provide comprehensive register transition training called vocalises. A vocalise is a vocal exercise, which is sometimes actually suitable for performance, that doesn't have words. It's usually sung on one or more vowel sound. They teach breath control, diction, blending, and balance. Number 5, preparing the material that's going to be rehearsed or performed. And finally, a good vocal technical warm-up should prepare the specific material that's going to be rehearsed and or performed. Usually a vocal warm-up is a precursor to practice or a rehearsal or some kind of performance. This could be as simple as doing some exercises in the key that your song is sung in, or with the accent that an actor must use for the role. Certain difficult passages of the repertoire might be broken down and used as an exercise, and any language requirements have to be prepared. So if the performer is singing in their non-native language, they'll want to do exercises to prepare the articulators for the sounds and the shapes which are required for that particular language. So what happens if you don't take voice lessons, but you want to perform? Okay, so when a vocal warm-up is led by a director, either in a musical, choral, or theatrical environment, it can also provide an important opportunity to assess the vocal abilities of these singers and actors without the distraction of the repertoire, and to specifically train areas of weakness. Unfortunately for some, their director may be the only voice teacher they'll ever work with. So the vocal warm-up is the only time where they receive specific training for the muscles required by their craft. Lucky for you, you are in this mentorship and you're a member of Legacy Voice, where you get specific and personalized vocal training. Beyond vocal training in this program, you get to hone your craft while growing into the fullest expression of yourself. That means you are massive steps ahead of your competition while being completely authentic. You can ask me direct questions in the community about how to apply every technique you learn into the repertoire that you're singing. So if there's something that you don't see and you want to try, send me an email and I will create videos for you. Now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, explore and sing along with the spotlight vocal exercises that come after the breathing and movement modules. Sign in every single day and watch at least one video. You'll begin to develop a habit even if you just sign in, kind of like putting your gym clothes on. Gives you a reason to go to the gym. Choose the modules based on whether your voice is anatomically female or anatomically male. There are exercises for beginners, intermediate singers, and advanced singers. Most of these exercises you can do even if you're walking your dog or in the shower. You can do most of them anywhere at any time, although I highly recommend doing them standing in front of a mirror with no other distractions, but we understand we all have to do it sometimes. There are 12 heritage vocal exercises. You can do these standing in front of a mirror. Please don't do them in the car or walking your dog, unlike a lot of the other exercises, because there's a lot of movement and it's very difficult to get the right alignment when doing that. I recommend learning one heritage exercise per month as you develop your voice and master the movements of each exercise. So I hope you had a lot of fun with the heritage vocal exercises and all of the spotlight vocal exercises, all the live singing in sevens, and anything that you need or want, please don't hesitate to ask. I will see you in the next module.